Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about DNA. We are going to go through the structure of DNA and the way it works. Let's get started. So, what is DNA? DNA, also known as deoxyribonucleic acid, acts like a blueprint for living things. But how on earth can such a small molecule build things as complex as a tree, a cat, or even a human being? To answer this question, we need to start with the structure of DNA. Here's a model of DNA, and as you can see, it's made up by two strands wrapping around each other, like a twisted ladder. We call this kind of structure a double helix. If we take a closer look at the DNA, we can see that it's made up by these little units, and we call them nucleotides. A nucleotide contains three parts. We've got a phosphate, a sugar, and a nitrogen base. Nucleotides form a DNA strand by connecting the phosphate of one nucleotide to the sugar of another, which create the backbone of the strand. For the nitrogen bases, there are four types: A, T, C, and G, which stand for adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. This means that there are actually four types of nucleotides with four types of bases. Now, if we look back to this partial DNA model, we can see that the bases are actually paired up and hold the two strands together. Importantly, only complementary bases can be paired up, meaning that there are certain rules they have to follow. The rules are that A always pairs up with T and C always pairs up with G. There's an easy way to remember this, since A and T are both formed by straight lines and C and G are formed by curved lines. By knowing this, we are able to figure out the complementary sequence of bases of a strand. For example, if we have a strand of DNA with bases of CAC, GAC, TTG, we can figure out the bases on the other strand, which are GTG, CTG, AAC. Now, we have a brief understanding about the structure of DNA, but how can it determine the way our body functions? In fact, these bases we just talked about together act like codes. They tell the cells how to make protein, which is the basis of our body structures. To understand how they can code for proteins, let's look at this DNA strand. First, the cell will read the bases in groups of three and takes the corresponding amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein, and combine them in the order which the groups of bases are arranged. Then, the chain of amino acids would fold up to form a protein. Notice that each type of protein has a different sequence of amino acids that allows it to perform different functions. Therefore, proteins, along with other chemicals, combine to form living cells. Cells make up tissues, tissues make up organs, organs make up organ systems, and finally, organ systems make up living things like you and me. That's all for today's video. I hope you have a better understanding of DNA and how it works. If you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.